Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Infinity, and this is Magnetize Yourself, where we talk about life, love, spirituality, and of course, the law of attraction. In today's video, we are going to be doing a reading and energy update for our beautiful collective here on YouTube. So I'm going to be channeling into some collective dynamics that I've been feeling coming up for us recently. And it is my hope and my intention that through this video, you can help to feel as though light is being shed on dynamics happening either within yourself or your own life. So I'm really excited to get into this reading. I don't know about all of you. I'm really curious to know in the comments if you feel guided to leave a comment on this, but I'm curious to know how this recent energy has been affecting you, because I've definitely heard a lot of online creators talking about it, and there is something about this energy space we're stepping into that quite literally feels like uncharted territory. And so the reason that makes me excited to do these readings is because I feel that together here, as we're co-creating together on YouTube, it's as though we are kind of able to peel back all of the layers on that, like one piece at a time, and slowly get a clearer picture on what we're working with here energetically and how to best operate within this new energy field that really we're all adjusting to as a collective. So the first thing I want to say is, if you've been feeling a bit overwhelmed at times by this energy, if you've been feeling like sudden bursts of excitement or adrenaline or inspiration followed by crashes and feeling extremely tired, if you've been really vacillating between feeling emotional highs and then feeling extremely low, then know that you are not alone in that and you are not going crazy. For some reason, I feel that someone may have been asking themselves, like, am I going crazy? Am I losing my mind? Or there's almost like this internal script of, and I just saw 222 on the recording timer. There's almost this internal script of, am I somehow backsliding? Or like the thing that I kept hearing in my mind for our collective is like that part of the collective is feeling as though, have I not healed as much as I thought that I did? And that is absolutely not the case at all. I'm getting that what is going on here really has to do with the collective energy. And again, this new space we're stepping into that's really exhilarating if we learn how to work with this energy. Now, speaking of new things and new energy, I want to share an idea with you, and I'm curious to know your thoughts on this idea. Maybe it's a bit unconventional for a creator to share an idea before it's like fully formed, but I really see you all as co-creators, and I'm really excited about this, and it's something I'm really thinking of doing. So I want to know what you think about it. But the idea that struck me today as I was meditating is that I feel it would be really beautiful if we could have some kind of space online, like virtually, that would be sort of like a community-based space where there would be the option to like sort of comment back and forth on things, to have like a stronger sense of community, and then also to be able to do like live challenges together in a sense. So for example, like within energy fields like this, to be able to do like a 7-day reset challenge or like a 30-day meditation challenge and things of that nature. I'm curious if something like that would be supportive for you on your journey. I am even thinking of maybe creating an external app separate from my meditation app that's like something that you can download and have on your phone that is sort of like a toolbox in a way for a lot of what we've been talking about here, that we can kind of keep adding to and evolving over the course of time, and then having some kind of like community feature within that that is external to even like YouTube or these other platforms, although I absolutely adore YouTube and our community here. But I just kind of had this thought and this idea of like a place where we could also have more organized content. So for example, where I could take some past YouTube videos and organize them into sort of like categories of, I guess, like learning modules in a way, so that if you are new or you're just getting started on the channel and you're not sure where to start, you could go to these modules and be able to kind of get a breakdown on different subjects, whether it's like your self-love journey or twin flames or different kinds of topics. And I also know that many of you have been asking me to dive deeper into some actionable insights as far as like how to work with certain kinds of energies, how to accomplish certain shifts internally or within certain connections. And I feel like it could be of value to organize that kind of information in a more clear sort of way, external to even YouTube. So let me know if that's something that you are curious about or interested in, because that's sort of an idea that I have in the works here. But anyway, maybe you in your own life have been really feeling like new ideas have been forming, just like I got this new idea for new ways that we could connect and keep growing together as a community. So in your personal life, or when it comes to your work, or whatever the case is, you may be finding that unexpectedly there are new ideas occurring to you. And what I'm hearing is it may surprise you when this happens, because you may have one idea of what you think your path is going to look like, or what you think maybe your business or your career or your relationships. It's like your mind has an idea of what this is going to look like. But what I'm sensing is it's almost like the universe is coming in right now and saying, but if you open yourself up, it can be so much better. Like, let me work with you. Let me work through you, because this can be so much greater and more expanded than you're allowing it to be through that like conscious limitation in a way. And that kind of leads me into another message that has been coming through a lot, which is I've really been noticing within this energy space that everything that feels like a definition or a label, or like something, anything that feels very like clearly defined and rigid and almost like stubbornly defined, like it has to be a certain way, or it has to look a certain way, or it has to happen in a certain time frame. All of those kind of rigid definitions are beginning to feel very restrictive, and almost like it's constricting the energy and even like our own energy field whenever we start to try and really get in the mud, so to speak, defining and like limiting and setting parameters around things. So the feeling I keep getting is like these new ideas or this new energy keeps coming in, but then the mind keeps trying to kind of clamp down on it and say, whoa, I'm so inspired, I'm so excited. Let me get in the mud and start like defining and limiting and setting parameters and setting goals and setting timeframes. But then it's almost like this energy spits you out again and like repels and rejects that kind of rigidity. And so I'm curious if you've experienced this as well. But what I'm really getting is like you are going to be receiving an influx of new ideas and inspiration and vision. But anytime you try to get too specific with exactly how it needs to look, you're going to feel this pushback within your system. You're going to feel like this energy is like spitting you out of it, in a sense, is the best way I can describe it, instead of you working with it. And I guess that's part of what we're talking about here in this video, is how to really start working with this energy and letting it work for you instead of letting it like work against you, in a sense. So I'm going to be pulling some cards here, and I am very curious what's going to be coming up. I know that if you live in the US, there is a winter storm that many people are preparing for. So there's almost this energy, especially in those regions right now, of like, I don't know, hibernation, like constricting, kind of like turning in on the self. There's this feeling of being in kind of like a void space. And yet what I keep getting is not to fight the void, to relax into the void, and to let this be a creative void full of potential. Because if you allow it to be that, I feel that it can carry you to amazing new places. But there's also, of course, this like fear and uncertainty coming up at the same time. So I'm going to be shuffling the energy oracle cards here. What can I channel for all of the beautiful souls listening here? Yeah, make peace with the void is a message coming through with hostilities in the reverse. So maybe you are someone who literally knows that because of the cold or the snow, you're going to be in a little bit of a hibernation mode, maybe for a couple days, or maybe just the season of winter generally has you feeling like you're sort of like burrowing in on yourself in a way. And I feel that, once again, the mind here is almost like trying to resist or to fight that or to set parameters on that. But the soul is kind of saying, let yourself like lean into this season because it's actually a creative portal if you allow it to be a powerful portal of creation. So with adjacent possibilities, I feel that the more you make peace with whatever void you're in, whether it's more literal because of like cold weather or winter, or whether it's more metaphoric, just you feeling emotionally in a void, I feel that making peace with whatever void you're in opens up new possibilities. It opens doors in front of you. That's what I'm getting here with these first two cards, with hostilities reverse and adjacent possibilities. The sense that I get is that the vision is so much bigger than your mind is allowing it to be. And so whenever the mind gets too involved in like, oh, this needs to happen in this way, or it has to look this way, or it has to happen in this amount of time, it's almost as though every time the mind does that, even sometimes just by getting really specific with your quote unquote goals, some of you may find that even goal setting feels really resistant for you because it's almost like you're trying to put parameters on an energy that wants to expand and move through you and create through you. And it's almost as though the universe is saying, I already know what you want on conscious and subconscious levels. You don't have to keep giving me the specifics. It's already been impressed into the fabric of the universe, and now it's being delivered to you through these inspired urges, through this expanded vision coming through you. But it's important not to attempt to control that energy as it comes through you, but to let it flow through and expand and evolve naturally. There's something with that word evolve as well, like letting something evolve along with you, whether it's your work, your business, a part of your life, a relationship. There's something coming up about how there's like a past form of whatever this is. And the mind is almost like trying to hold on to the way this used to work before, or the way this worked before some kind of transformation happened within you. And your soul is trying to say, no, let this evolve with you. Let this grow and change and expand with you. That's like part of what I'm picking up on here as well. So can I get any more information about adjacent possibilities opening up for you when you stop fighting the void? Patience. I feel that there is something that the mind wants to rush that is actually being gradually built here. And it's something that is coming together in the long term, like for the long haul. And it's very important that you see it from a bigger picture perspective, that you see it as something you are building and creating and evolving over time, that's like moving and breathing and living with you, instead of seeing it as something like static that, I don't know, it happens in a linear way or has to happen very quickly. It's like important to allow something to be fluid and to occur over the course of time, and to let go of what that timing needs to look like specifically. Because again, I get this sense that you've already impressed some kind of vision on the universe. You've already like impressed the vision on the fabric of your reality. And that vision includes your desires that are both conscious, but also subconscious as well, not just the conscious desires. So what else can I channel here? Cornucopia. Yeah, this is what's on the other side of adjacent possibilities. Manifestations that are truly beautiful and magical, but that come together gradually in your soul's timing. Your soul's timing is connected to your intuitive rhythm. So there's something about how you can feel whenever you're going against this intuitive rhythm, because you will instantly start to sense this urgency in your field. You'll start to feel a little fragmented, a little dysregulated, a little frazzled. And I'm hearing that whenever you get that sense within yourself. It's a sign to actually pull back or to slow down and to reevaluate, to pull back into yourself and reset a little bit. Whenever you're feeling expansive and inspired and exhilarated and creative, that is your sign to move forward. That's sort of like the green light from your intuition when it comes to creating with this energy. But I'm getting that you are getting to this point where you're becoming so attuned internally to those signals, but it's also something that isn't going to make logical sense, and other people aren't really going to understand or be able to interpret those signals for you. Because another message that's been coming up a lot is this sense of like grasping for some form of external confirmation or validation, for someone to say externally, yes, you're on the right track. Yes, that's correct for you. Yes, keep going in that direction or explore that new idea. But the only confirmation is coming internally. It's coming from your soul. And I almost feel like you're being pushed out into this place where you feel almost like less external validation or confirmation than ever before, because the universe is saying it's time for you to trust yourself. It's time for you to trust that you are attuned to your own internal signals, that you know when you're getting that green light from your intuition and you know how to follow that. And I feel that whatever this vision is for you, that is being inspired through you, that's evolving with you, it's requiring you to stand alone in some sense. It's requiring you to source all of your validation from within yourself. And you've been training for this for a long time, but I feel that for a while, just like we talked about with the training wheels in the last reading, you may have had external validation that was kind of acting as training wheels in a sense, where you felt like there were other things that you could lean on. And now it's almost like you're out here on your own, and yet you're ready for this. You are ready to trust yourself this much, to take those steps forward, sourcing all of that stability and that validation from within and not needing it externally. But I'm hearing the signs of confirmation will come. So it's almost like as you move forward from that place of sourcing your validation internally, all of the signs, the synchronicities, and the physical manifestations show up to support you, but not until you trust yourself. I'm hearing the self-trust comes before, not after the signs. So let's talk about what is manifesting in your life, because I'm really excited by this energy. But again, something keeps coming up about the importance of making peace with some kind of void that you're in. I'm hearing not allowing the void to control you, to control your mood or your mindset, to make you feel as though you're slipping or backsliding, but really to lean into this void space, to embrace it, to work with it instead of against it. And that's how you start riding the waves instead of being like knocked under the waves, so to speak. So I'm going to take a quick sip of my coffee here. Okay, there is something about the season of Libra, but Libra energy can also speak to balance and harmony. So there could be a Libra in your life that's significant to you. This also could be your energy. But again, this could be about balance. I'm seeing a baseball cap for someone. I don't know if baseball or a baseball cap is significant. Okay, so what can I channel about this energy? Yeah, the Hanged Man in the reverse position. There is this feeling of almost like a detachment in a sense. But the detachment is leading to a breakthrough. I feel like this void is what is putting you in this detached state. I'm hearing it's almost like forcing you into that state, just like if there is a lot of snow or something outside, you're kind of pushed into that hibernation. You're pushed to kind of detach from what you would normally be doing externally for a little while. It feels like emotionally, this void is pushing you into yourself and creating a kind of sense of detachment from the external. But ultimately, there's something brand new and very powerful coming out of this with the Ace of Swords. Some powerful form of like new clarity as well. With the Three of Wands reversed, what is going on with this Three of Wands reversed in the Six of Pentacles? There's this sense of not being able to plan for something or not being able to plan ahead. Or again, I feel like this speaks to that energy where every time you try to overwork this energy or like, I don't know, guide it too heavily or force it into parameters, it rejects you in some kind of way. But with the Six of Pentacles, I feel this represents like flowing with the energy and allowing it to give back to you from that place. The word generosity is coming out, but it's almost like when you open your heart and let this energy flow through you generously, in a sense. I don't even know why that word is coming up here, but it's almost like this energy wants to be generous with you, and it's requiring you to like open your heart and allow that in, but also to be like generous in the sense that you're letting it flow through you and like pour out of you, but then also receptive to it heavily giving back to you as well. And that flow kind of like goes both ways here, but it's not something that you can really plan for in advance. Like you don't really know as you pour out this energy or let it flow through you how it's going to come back to you, but you trust in the energetics. You trust in that like giving and receiving flow is what I'm picking up on here. We also have the Two of Swords. I feel like you're at some kind of stalemate. I heard standstill, some kind of standstill in your life. What is this standstill energy coming up here? Yeah, it's like there's some kind of obstacle with the Six of Swords reversed that's keeping you feeling stagnant, that's keeping you at this standstill, so to speak. Can I get any more information on the standstill? Walking away reversed. I'm hearing you already have the answers within yourself. Yeah, the sense that I get about this energy is like you've had the answer within yourself for a while. It's almost like you've had all of these pieces to the puzzle internally. There's nothing more really for you to like consciously seek out as far as like information, or I'm hearing like research. It's almost like you have all of the research internally. You have all of the answers internally. It's about, I was going to say it's about assembling them, but then there was like kind of a force energy about saying that, because I feel the true message is they are assembling themselves as you allow that assembling to happen, as you facilitate it through making peace with the void. It's almost like that energy of peace within yourself naturally assembles the pieces of the puzzle that you already have internally that are leading to your next breakthrough. It's like it's happening subconsciously, automatically behind the scenes as you come into that state of peace within, is what I'm getting here. Okay, so I'm going to be reshuffling the cards. This is a very nuanced, complex energy that we're working with here. I'm really curious if you do feel guided to leave me a comment, especially today. I'm definitely curious to know how you're feeling about everything that has been coming up. Does any of this make sense or apply for you at all? Because again, this energy feels very complex. And so it's something that feels like it has to be sort of worked through and peeled back one piece at a time. Can I get any more information? Okay, so we have Healer of the Ages in the upright position. And I actually feel like there is some kind of guidebook message from this card as well. And the guidebook says health and vitality. This powerful being brings the force of ancient wisdom and profound healing. The light of divine consciousness pours from his hands and heart, flowing to you with love and a powerful healing intention. This amazing entity is with you now, bringing resolution to physical, mental, and emotional ills, helping to unblock stuck energy and revitalize your life force. Yeah, see, I feel like this is what's happening as you allow it to happen. This is that automatic shift that's taking place within you, but your conscious involvement seems to slow it down. So it's like the way you facilitate that process of unstucking, so to speak, this process of unblocking your energy that's happening within you. It's like the way you facilitate it is by not trying to control it, by embracing the void, by allowing it, because it's such an automatic process, by riding with that energy instead of fighting against it or getting, I'm hearing right now, there might be the temptation to get into a lot of like looping thought spirals in your head, especially around like, am I slipping? Am I backsliding? Am I doing enough? Am I moving enough? Like, what can I plan or force or whatever to make myself get out of this void? But the void is asking you to lean into it and to embrace it and to allow it to automatically unblock your energy in the necessary ways for you to assemble or to have assembled within you those pieces of the puzzle that are going to automatically begin to move themselves into a clearer picture of how you're ultimately going to be inspired forward. But it feels like it happens without force. And in fact, trying to force it actually slows it down. That's the main message coming through. I feel like that was a major unlocking point in a way in figuring out this new energy that we're stepping into. With the World card, this is a reminder that you are expanding and that in fact, this process that might feel uncomfortable that's happening within you, where you feel like you're in this void, where there are things being unlocked within you, but you feel like you can't really force or control that process, where you're having these emotional or energetic highs and lows. This is actually you being prepared for the next level of your expansion. But I keep getting there's some element of surprise here. Like this next level may not look the way that you expected it to look, but I'm hearing it's going to be even better than you could have imagined, because those imaginings are still coming from the conscious mind. And this vision is going to carry the fulfillment of desires that you've not just held consciously, but subconsciously, like dormant or even forgotten beneath the surface as well. I feel some things are going to manifest for you in this next era of your expansion that you even forgot that you dreamt, that you even forgot that you wanted. These could be childhood dreams or desires or things that used to light you up that will be suddenly re-entering your life. Even like spiritual or soul gifts awakening that have been dormant for a really long time with the door to spirit in the upright position. Like you might suddenly remember, wait a second, I loved to do that as a child, or wait, this is really lighting me up unexpectedly. You may have those kinds of moments is what I'm getting through this energy. Yeah, and I feel that when the time is right, you're going to feel propelled forward in confidence. I'm getting that there's something about a shedding of the skin around your sense of identity, specifically tied to the solar plexus. And this somehow relates to these creative talents or soul gifts or dormant dreams coming back online. So I feel that like an old version of your identity is being almost like stripped back, or it's being weeded out in a sense, pruned. That's the word I was looking for. Your old sense of identity is being pruned, but it's actually clearing space for new growth, just like you prune a plant to allow it to grow even more effectively. Your identity right now feels like it's being stripped back or pruned so that you can grow more quickly than ever before. But again, in that pruning process, it can feel very terrifying because you can feel like you're actually declining or like there's a loss of identity, when in actuality, it's a preparation for the biggest era of growth that you've ever experienced. Yeah, with envy in the reverse, the main feeling I'm getting as I sense into this next era of your growth is this profound sense of like soul deep fulfillment. Feeling like, wow, I'm in the quote unquote right reality. Like I'm on the right timeline. I'm feeling so fulfilled. I'm feeling like I have my spark back, to call back to a recent reading we did here on the channel. I feel like I'm myself again. Like you saying those kinds of things is what is coming up for me, because really that next era of your expansion is you coming more home to yourself at a core frequency level. And so I feel like this deep fulfillment coming up along with that. Now with the yin yang card, I can't believe this is just popping out here right near the end of this first transmission, but clearly there is something, and I'm getting like some head and forehead pressure. So that might be something someone is experiencing. Of course, I'm not a medical professional, so I always recommend seeing a doctor or medical professional with any physical symptoms. But I feel as though for some of you, there is something happening in your third eye chakra. There's like some kind of massive opening happening relating to your intuition. I'm hearing something about your intuition starting to flow more easily. So you might just notice that ideas or thoughts or downloads are occurring in your mind more easily. But again, this seems to happen more naturally as you are not fighting some process that's taking place within you or resisting it with the mind or trying to define or limit it or set parameters on it. But when you're flowing with it, with the yin yang card here in the upright position as well, I feel like this really represents, well, first of all, I can't pull this card without saying the word twin flame. I know not all of you are twin flames or resonate with that journey, but I know many of you do, or that has been part of your path. And I will say that this is my number one card for twin flame connection. Now, it doesn't have to specifically reference a physical twin flame counterpart. This could be, because it is upright, this is about you having balanced your internal masculine and feminine. I think this goes back to what we were talking about regarding sourcing your validation from within. And you're able to do that because you've balanced the masculine and feminine energies within yourself. So I'm getting that first of all. And I feel that's even part of why your intuition is flowing so much more easily, because you have a safe container for that intuitive knowing within yourself. You've created that container internally. It's almost like you've created deep levels of safety within yourself, maybe even physically. I'm definitely speaking to a collective that has worked a lot with nervous system regulation, with really, I'm hearing something about the vagus nerve, like really calming down their own nervous system and coming to this state of peace and stability internally through balancing the masculine and feminine essences in a way that is actually stabilizing your field so that intuition can flow through more naturally, because intuition becomes random, chaotic, and even sometimes inaudible when we are destabilized energetically. And so I'm feeling that you are really stabilizing your intuition, and this is naturally allowing that current to flow through you more powerfully, that current of your own intuition. You're stabilizing your energy so your intuition can flow. That's kind of the core message there. And for some of you, of course, if you have been on a twin flame journey, I have to say that there is this sense of a masculine counterpart really opening their heart here, with man holding a heart in the upright position. Now, this could be a high-level soulmate or a physical twin flame, but I'm picking up on this very open-hearted energy around you. It doesn't have to be a masculine either. And of course, the masculine and feminine labels are to describe energies. They aren't necessarily connected to certain genders, but I feel someone more in like their giving energy, their action-oriented energy that is somehow connected to you or like in your orbit in a way, and very open-hearted towards you. That's what I'm getting with this man holding a heart card in the upright position. I also feel with journey reversed that, spiritually speaking, this masculine has completed some kind of cycle or some kind of journey, which is actually allowing them to connect or reconnect with you in the physical and to open their heart to you. Now, this may be someone brand new who had to go through a certain cycle in their life before they could meet you in the physical world. This also could be someone from your past who had to go through some particular phase or cycle that's now coming to a close, and allowing them to open themselves to you in a different way and putting them more in that healed masculine energy where they want to give, where they want to take action towards you. So if that is resonating for you, I'm going to use that as a starting point for our extended reading. And for those of you who are new, I channel extended readings every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday in addition to these readings. So if you sign up for the memberships either on Patreon or on YouTube, you get access to 3 additional exclusive reading videos just for members every single week. And you can sign up from either platform, just depending on your preference. So I will leave links to that below. And in addition to channeling into that specific energy of that high-level soulmate or twin flame, we will also be channeling into whatever else wants to come through that reading. I will be leaving it pretty open-ended and free-flowing. So, of course, only if you're feeling guided to that by your own intuition, if you're feeling an intuitive nudge in that direction, then the link to join the memberships and connect in with the next reading is in the pinned comment and description box below. So I'll be heading over there next, but I want to go ahead and close this reading by saying a huge thank you to all of you here. And I don't just mean here on the channel. I really mean here on the planet. I sense and feel your presence here in the world as well, wherever you are in the world. And really, whenever you are listening to this reading, know that you are valuable, you are loved, you are supported, even when that support is coming from the invisible realms. And I feel that you are someone with a very powerful soul mission in this world. And I'm kind of circling back to that idea I had at the beginning, because I'm really hoping that I can create more tools to support you in that mission, and maybe to create little practical containers that we can use to grow and evolve and shift energy and work with energy in different ways. Because I know many of you have been asking for more like practical tools and resources to work with the energies that come up in these readings. So again, let me know how you feel about that. And just in general, I would love to hear from you if you do feel guided to share anything in the comments. But I'm going to go ahead and close this first reading here. And so thank you so much for tuning in. Take care wherever you are in the world, and I will connect with you here again in Monday's reading.